Hey, y'all. So, this week, we're going to talk about the next step in the mental health journey, which is to be kind to yourself. Now, we're going to eventually get to exercises and specific things to do, daily habits and magical practices. But the first couple steps are just changing the way you think about certain things. As you start on this journey, this quest to improve your mental health. And this one I've been struggling with myself. So I get to talk about a lesson that was one of the first lessons I had to learn when I was improving my mental health, and a lesson that I keep having to learn, and that's to be nice to yourself, to be kind to yourself. I was very bad at this one. Mental health isn't, it's not a teleportation, it's not an instantaneous effect. You're not going to make the decision to improve your mental health and go like this, like you're in an elevator. You're not going to go like this, like you're climbing stairs. It's like this. And sometimes it's like this. um, that's a struggle for me. I get upset with myself often that I'm not capable of doing what I used to do, that I'm not who I used to be. And I used to be a badass. I was in the military. I was very good at my job. I was promoted very quickly until I was running entire sections. I, I've been a professional musician. I've written books under different names, so don't look for them. I'm not really. They weren't written well. They were just written. Um, done a lot of stuff. I used to be very strong physically. I used to be able to be very disciplined mentally. I could read a book a day, like a non-fiction book. I got several degrees while I was working full time and raising a family. And now I struggle with all those things. I struggle to read. Um, I can read for about 15 minutes before I lose concentration. I struggle being around people, and therefore it's difficult to be a musician. That's mostly how you make your money. I mean, I was alive. I was a blues musician that played the guitar and sang. Um, I struggle at work. I don't, I all the way up until now, I got promoted very quickly at every job I've ever had. Most jobs I've ever had. That's not true. I have failed a few times. I have failed at every job that involves sales. Some of them spectacularly. The only jobs I've ever been fired from is sales. So I'm not a salesperson. But every other job I've ever had, I was pretty spectacularly successful, often being promoted to manager in a very short amount of time. And at this job, I struggle just to go. I've been, it's very difficult for me. I'm dealing with people all the time, every day. And often very upset people because of the nature of my job. Uh, yeah, I work for the government, and you could just imagine that a lot of people are not happy, regardless of what agency they're dealing with. I struggle physically. I used to be very, there's, just thinking about it today, there was times in the military that it would be like, this is a two-man carry or this is a four-man operation, and I would just do it by myself because I'm 6'3", and I'm just naturally strong, and I don't work out, never really lifted weights, just one of those good genetics, you know. And I've just my partner tells this story a lot. How we were moving into an upstairs apartment, and I just picked up our couch and put it on my shoulder and climbed up the stairs to the second story, and everybody was like, "Oh, but it wasn't really at that time. It wasn't really that heavy to me." You know, and now I tried to climb up this mountain 2 weeks ago, and I made it about a fourth of the way up. And I tried to climb up the mountain this morning. This is Father's Day, um, and I made it about a third of the way up. And I'm getting frustrated at myself because when I was younger, even just a few years ago, when I was hiking all the time during COVID, I could have climbed this mountain on the first try. It's called Bell Mountain here in the local area, and you're climbing about 1,000 feet in about a mile and a half. It's pretty like straight up. I mean the elevation and the grade is like this from a lot of the hike. um, so it's not a long hike, but it's very steep. And then I sit down and I'm disappointed in myself and beating myself up as I'm very good at doing. And it just hits me that I was in a motorcycle accident less than a year ago. I broke my right knee. So now I have matching knees as I broke my left knee when I was much younger. And I couldn't walk for several weeks. And then I went through several months of very painful physical therapy where it was questionable whether or not I was going to get back the function of my knee, the full range of motion because of my age. I'm in my mid 40s. So, and I did. It was a lot of work. It was very painful. Um, and it was several months of physical therapy, but I got back full range of motion in my knee. And now I'm upset with myself because I can't. I tried to climb 1,000 foot mountain and I made it halfway and well, a third of the way, and I got upset. You know, well, I guarantee you that I'm going to climb that mountain by the end of the fucking year. Now it's going to be what I do every weekend until I get up that goddamn mountain because that's who I am. And it hit me that I'm beating myself up because I can't do what I used to do. But between when I was young and I did all this Superman hero fucking shit, and now I have had 2 divorces, I've been homeless, I've had 6 traumatic brain injuries, um, several severely traumatic events that resulted in PTSD. I mean, I have PTSD from when I was a child too, but it's both. Um, I've broken my back and both my knees. Well, no, I broke my left knee when I was very young. I lived through COVID, lived through swine flu. Lived through bird flu, got all of them. Swine flu was the worst. It was way worse than COVID. Um, Come close to death many times. Yeah, I'm not capable of doing what I used to do, but I'm still a fucking badass. I'm still out there climbing those mountains. Can't do it like I used to do, but I'm doing it. And I'm doing that spiritually, mentally as well. No, I'm not capable in any area of my life of doing what I used to be able to do. But having been through what I've been through and done what I've done, what I can do and what I am experiencing in life is fucking amazing. And I need to be grateful for it and grateful for myself that I've never given up, that I keep trying. I keep trying to climb that mountain. I keep trying to talk in front of people, be around people. I keep trying to communicate my emotions. I keep trying to control my vices. I keep trying to improve healthy habits. Just keep trying. Not every day is easy. Not every week is easy. Not every month is easy. Not every year is easy. Just because I'm on the path of spirituality and mental health doesn't mean that I have won at either one of those things. It doesn't mean I have attained enlightenment. I am not the Buddha trying to talk to you, or Moses trying to talk to you from the mountain. I probably struggle more with mental health than a lot of people who will watch these videos. Some of you will have more difficulties than I do, but a lot of what I deal with is just fucking hard. Because on top of that, I have ADHD, pretty, off the charts ADHD, and I'm on the spectrum. So a broken body, a broken mind, a host full of of diagnoses, physical and mental, and I keep trying. I keep going. And that's the journey. This is an adventure. Yeah, you're going to have to leave the comfort of your depression. I know it's comfortable. Depression can wrap you up like a burrito, like a warm blanket on a cold night. You don't have to make a lot of decisions, I've been in the military and I've been in jail, and I've been in jail. Yes, I have been in jail more than once. And depression is like both of those things. You don't have to make any decisions for yourself. The depression decides for you. Am I going to go to that party? Absolutely not. Am I going to leave the house? Nope. Am I going to eat healthy? No. I'm depressed. I can't do it. Don't even try. So leaving the comfort of that, that's a scary thing. You're leaving the Shire. You to make the journey towards mental wholeness, towards mental healing, towards love, towards happiness, towards peace. You're going to have to heal yourself. You're going to have to change the way you think and the way you feel. That means you're going to have to retrain yourself on how to think and how to feel using a variety of techniques. This is a journey. This is an adventure, and it is not always going to be easy. The rewards are amazing. Peace, happiness, joy, love, healthy relationships. The treasure is worth it, but it's not an easy journey. And you're going to have pitfalls. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad months. And you're going to have bad years. And you're going to beat yourself up. And you're going to say, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I fell back down into being depressed, into being anxious, and into being shitty to people, into this bad habit, into doing however you're dealing with your diagnosis, whatever things that you're doing right now in order to survive, whatever bad habits that you have, whatever bad habits of thought that you have that make you react to certain situations in negative ways, pushing people away, or having relationships fall apart because you're the asshole, because of your mental health. Having people not understand that. Those are all difficult things to deal with. This is not like, I'm going to make the decision to work on my mental health. First of all, we call it work, right? And so I will do the things I'm supposed to do, and and then I'll be fine. It doesn't work like that. If you were fine, then you wouldn't be like you would be the people who get fixed in the 6 weeks that insurance gives to fix you. The people who are, either they're tougher or they didn't go through as much. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's not a fucking competition. But they got back up and they went. Being a veteran means that you fucking tried. You did things that most people don't even attempt to do. You left your home. You went out to war. We focus on the combatants, but every army since the beginning of time has had more support troops than soldiers. There are 6 times more support troops than there are soldiers. And what I mean is combatants versus non-combatants. And that's good. That's an improvement on technology, because back in the day when we were slinging swords and arrows at each other, there was a lot more support troops than that. People doing all kinds of things. And as many veterans out there, it doesn't matter if for those of you who are the warriors, yeah, you are the heroes. Absolutely. And all of us tried. We all left home and tried to do something amazing that most people don't even attempt to do. Some people came back unscathed. I know I work with plenty of veterans that did 4 years and are pretty okay with their lives. Don't seem to be that fucked up. I served 10 and I am broken. But it's also just a matter of the job you did and what you experienced. And I know cooks who are disabled, and I know combat troops who came away fairly unscathed. And there's those of us who are more broken than we are. And those are those of us who are broken, but we can function. But we all did the thing. We all went out and did it and came back home. And all of us that came back home, we're doing better than those that didn't come back home. You did better on your adventure than some. You literally did a deadly thing. Because you did a thing that a lot of people don't survive. We're all heroes. Are you scarred from battle? Yep. Are you going to be who you used to be? No. But remember the story of the Japanese vase. I don't remember the term for it. But the vase that is shattered and then put back together with gold. A lot of times when you start the mental health journey, and even when you're already on it, you think, oh, when am I going to be who I used to be? The vase never stopped being the vase. When the vase was whole, it was the vase. So before our trauma, the vase is broken, it's still the vase. That's during our trauma. And when the vase is put back together, it's still the vase. And so that's after the healing process. But we're in that healing process right now. You're not going to be who you used to be. The vase with the gold looks different. It looks more badass. That's the beauty of scars. Those gold are the scars on our body and the scars on our minds and the scars on our soul from the badass shit that we went through, that we survived, that other people didn't survive. We're the survivors. We're the bad motherfuckers. Do we have scars? Absolutely. But you're still the vase. You never stopped being the vase. One day, you might be more beautiful than you will ever know. And you're still the vase. And you had to go through that broken process in order to be healed and put back together with gold. A lot of times the worst things that happen to us end up being the best things because of what they do to us, the lessons that we learned from those experiences, and the course, the set of events, and how your life turned out. Man, at the time, getting kicked out of the Baptist church, man, that was horrible. That broke me. That was the most horrible experience that one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had. And at that point in time, it was. To lose all my friends, my entire support group, to feel like that my God rejected me, that my leaders rejected me, that nobody approved of me, that I am a lesser person, I am not worthy. But if I hadn't gone through that, then I would have lived the rest of my life in a fucking cult. So that broke me. And I had to heal from that. But my life is better not being in a goddamn cult. Not all of the pain that we go through makes sense. Or can we see the bigger picture? Or can we see why we had to go through that? I have also experienced assault. And that's not easy to say, oh, well, this happened because of this, and my life is better for that. It's not always easy to wrap your head around it. It's not always easy to see the reason why it happened, or to even have to have a reason why it happened. But as one of my sisters says, it may not be your fault, but it is your problem. You're still the one that has to heal from that. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You're still the one that has to deal with all the repercussions of what that trauma did to you. Nobody else is going to heal you. Nobody else is going to do the journey. Nobody else is going to do the work. You have to learn to put yourself back together. And that's what makes you a badass. Because you are the vase putting itself back together with the gold. Absolutely, you're going to need help. And part of the healing process is learning not to be shy about asking for help, because a lot of us don't. We're made to feel like we're a burden on other people, and if you're disabled, you're neurodivergent, you're mentally ill, you're seen as being a burden, a pariah. You feel guilty, and you don't want to reach out and ask for help, and you're gonna have to fucking ask for help. You're gonna have to learn. The vase can't put itself back together without some fucking help. But it's still your choice. You're still gonna do this. And that makes you a beautiful person, and that makes you a fucking badass. I'm proud of you. I love you. And blessed be.